Good morning. My name is Deepak. I'm the music director for the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. And let's just start this morning with a beautiful song. There's a bright golden haze in the meadow. There's a bright golden haze in the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's high, and it looks like it's climbing right into the sky. And sing with me if you feel like it. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle is standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me go by. And a little brown maverick is winking her eye. And oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds on the earth are like music. All the sound on the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. And that old weeping willow is laughing at me. And oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day.
It is indeed a beautiful day
Thank
this
you.
Sunday. How are you today, Yaron?
I am well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I just listened to the lyrics of that song, I think, really for the first time, and I had a chuckle about the cows not staring, or the cows staring and not looking at the person.
They don't stare at that cow.
So, is that song from Oklahoma?
It is, yeah.
Oh, oh,
So
I moved
geez, I'm
forward
impressed.
in the game show category. So, how fabulous. Well, it's so good to have you back. I know that you've been out and about around the US of A performing and sharing your gifts and you've had a wonderful time in Provincetown from what I understand. So,
Hmm.
welcome back to the land of Los Angeles and welcome back to the Center for Spiritual Living at Los Angeles.
Thank you. Always good to be back home.
It's always good to have you here with us. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to you sharing more of your beautiful music and your joy and your voice with us today.
Thank you.
All right, cool. See you in just a moment. Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox. I'm the spiritual leader here for the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, and welcome to our Sunday morning service. We are gathering together online as we do most Sundays, as we come together in this virtual space to honor the power and the presence of the divine. The divine, that infinite energy that experiences itself and expresses itself by means of you and by means of me. One of the quotes from Ernest Holmes, the founder of the teaching of the science of mind, that spoke to me so many, many years ago when I became a part of this philosophy, faith, and way of life is spirit, which is that ever present energy that exists in life, has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. And so today we come together so that you, the individualized expression of spirit, can remember who they are as a divine being and use the power of our mind, of our presence, of our actions in life in a way to propagate good in our world. And so today, I trust and intend for this time that we spend together, whether you're joining us live on Zoom or through Facebook Live or at another time and space and date through the virtues of technology that we have on our YouTube channel or through our website, and have an opportunity to relax into the space that Spirit has drawn you into today, so that there is a nugget of something that you will hear or resonate with that will give you the remembrance and the reminder of who and what you are as a being of light. And so, with no further ado, let's continue into this next phase of our service by putting some slides on the screen to engage into our welcoming acts of the morning. And so we come together on Sunday mornings to say hello to each other, to do that online when we're not in person. We will be back in person again next Sunday, August 14th, in our home at 1200 North La Brea Avenue. But we like to begin our service on Sunday mornings with an acknowledgement of who's joining us, whether it's live or a later date, through the act of namaste. Namaste, in its most pure Sanskrit meaning, means I bow to you. In its more modern day philosophy and approach, it's that spirit, that essence of life that is with me, in me, honors and acknowledges that within you. So if you feel so compelled, I invite us all to stretch our hands out, take a deep breath in, put our hands together in prayer position over our heart as we exhale, feeling the presence, the power, the force of life itself. Leaning forward, as if we've just looked into the eyes of each other, and say together, Namaste. The spirit within me honors and salutes and acknowledges the spirit within you. Raising our hands to our lips to bless, to our third eye to remind us of the power within us and its guide through our wisdom and intuition. Back to our lips, hands on our heart, and open and release. Good morning and hello. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. We've been together for 30 plus years now in this beloved city, teaching the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind, as I said earlier. At its very core, the science of mind is a philosophy, faith, and way of life. A philosophy meaning that we each have the power to change our thinking and change our life. We each have the power to invoke, through the way that we show up in life, a greater experience of life because we're tending to our consciousness, our state of being. I like to look at it through the lens of tending to our awareness of our awareness. That's the philosophy part. The faith is that there is one universe. Our belief is that there's one universal, infinite, omniscient power in the universe. It's called life, the thing itself. It's all that there is. And that you and I, as stated earlier, individualize this power, this presence, this thing itself. And because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law, how we use that power then impacts our life. Because the very thing that we are and how we use it shows up in our life as our life. It's that which is causation or creation, so that we get to have an experience. And if we don't like what we're experiencing, or if we do like it and would like more of it, it's up to us to participate in the co-creation of that by tending to our thinking. I'm sure you've heard the statement, change your thinking, change your life. That's really what it's all about here. And so that is indeed what we teach here, and what we practice is becoming more aware of the qualities of the divine that we're each imbued with. Those qualities include peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And so as we tune our life into those qualities of peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom, we get to experience more of those because the law of life responds to us by corresponding to our state of being. And so today we are reminded to tend to our thinking. Ultimately, what we're here to do is to fulfill the vision statement of our community, which is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Today, it's my objective and intention to support each of us in that, finding our personal self-empowerment, to be more secure with who we are. As we tune into the power and the presence of the one mind of the divine that we get to, and I mean that sincerely, that we get to express. And so may today be that day for you. As a community, we welcome all races, all religions, all countries of origins, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities. In other words, we honor all that is the individualized expression of the divine. Just as you are perfect, whole, and complete. And we stand with you, for you indeed are safe here, even though literally we're sitting. It's a metaphor. We stand with you. And so, just as you see on the screen, all the different beautiful faces of life itself, which represent the myriad and multitudes of the individualized expressions of the divine, let's all just breathe in an appreciation for all of life itself and affirm together, as we've done for 30 plus years, we welcome one and we welcome all. And just let that resonate over us a bit. We open our services each morning with a ritual called Calling in the Light. Today we perform this ceremony, this virtual candle that we light, to promote the universal consciousness of life, that which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence which we call spirit. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering, to each of our awarenesses, if that's the right word, this morning, a more conscious awareness of our oneness of life and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. I'd like to repeat that, and I invite you to hear that anew. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into this gathering, through our awareness, a more conscious awareness of our oneness. And the qualities, those that I stated earlier, peace and power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom, that we all possess as complete expressions of the divine. Now, as we each and all of us together feel the vibrations shift during this experience of this ritual, may we each become more aware of the light of life that exists in and as all expressions of life, which includes you, and it includes me. This morning I'd like to share with us something that was shared with me that I find so interesting, and it's the Lord's Prayer, which we're all familiar with. It's actually translated from Aramaic directly to English. Typically, the Lord's Prayer has been translated from Aramaic to Greek to Latin to English. Feel free to read along on the screen and let this be a new perspective on the power that exists within us. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and to flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. And so it is. Let's look into the light of the virtual flame, knowing that this prayer indeed is taking root in the souls of all beings on this planet. And a difference is indeed unfolding. The last part of this ritual we like to call the healing candle. And I ask you to take a moment and to think of someone that you'd like to silently put into the light of the healing flame, which may include yourself, so that all may experience the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. In our philosophy, faith, and way of life, as stated earlier, we believe and know ourselves to be interconnected through mind. Through this state of interconnectedness, we all have the ability to invoke change, to engage in healing. I'm going to place a photo on the screen of a beloved young lady in my life by the name of Olivia Firefly Walter. She's a musician in the metaphysical movement. I've known her for many, many, many years, and I place her photo on the screen to invite you all to affirm with me healing is transpiring for this beloved creature of light. She is in Germany with two of her bandmates about to start tour. As she was stepping out in the street, she was hit by a tram. She's in critical condition in the hospital. Prayer partners around the world have stepped into the power of prayer and healing and looking at the light of life that exists in Olivia and all that are touching her physically and mentally and emotionally. And I invite CSL-LA and all that believe in the power of affirmative prayer to join with me in knowing that Olivia is indeed imbued with the light of life. That healing, as Ernest Holmes states, is the revelation of truth itself, the oneness of life, the endurance, infinite nature of life, to make itself known by means of her. That peace and calmness and understanding is now making itself known to her and through her. And that she, along with all beings of light that know her, love her, are surrounded by her, with her, are also each imbued with this light, the healing flame of the divine. And so that eternal and everlasting love is being made known in a new way right now. And so that which appeared to be horrific and horrible and frightening now takes on a new light, a new perspective, healing. And the power is indeed doing its job. And so we're going to now move to the next part of our ritual called Calling in the Light, and I invite you to sing along, holding Olivia's face and her light into your mind's eye as your own comes on and takes us through the song. And the lyrics will be on the screen.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. I am love, I am peace in my heart, I am free, I am spirit, I am soul, all together we are whole. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Calling in the light of love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Yaron. Touching and beautiful rendition of that song. You can keep your camera on. There he is again. I want to see your smile, your handsome smile. So Yaron, The next song that you have for us, can you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, it's a Bruno Mars song actually. It's called. I know the topic is about uh, you know
Kindness.
being grateful
Uh-huh.
and kindness. And I thought that song would fit perfectly.
Wonderful. Take it away.
All right. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sell the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost and you can see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we made of. We call for help ourselves in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends supposed to do, oh yeah. Do 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 do, do 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 do. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. If you can never forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Find out what we made of when we call to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends supposed to do. You'll count 2, 2, and you will be there. 'Cause that's what friends supposed to do, oh yeah. Do 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 do, do 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 do. Oh, do 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 do, do 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 do. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends supposed to do, oh yeah. Do 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 do, do 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 do. 'Cause that's what friends supposed to do, oh yeah. Do 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 do. 'Cause that's what friends supposed to do, oh yeah.
So lovely.
Thank you.
And it fits perfectly with our new theme for the month. That was
I was hoping for that.
it was a great instruction and a great guide. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you, Yaron. We'll see you in a bit. So I'd like to open with this statement, what I think is appropriate for all of us, and I'm sure we've heard it before, but let's hear it anew today. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Let's take that in for a second. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. As we kick off our theme for the month of August 22, which is a time for kindness, we might be thinking, well, right now is a time for kindness. Isn't every day, every moment, always a time for kindness? And the answer is yes, it is. But I'd like to frame it this morning as we kick off this theme for the month in some metaphysical terminology and foundation of some metaphysical terminology to remember that what we've learned leading up to now is that now is a time for kindness, being clear on our intentions, remembering that inherent within the seed of intention is the fulfillment of its desire, that we have a choice to be kind. Remembering choice is the engine of evolution. If you choose to evolve consciously, it'll be great. If you choose unconscious, it'll be painful. Conscious is far more effective and less painful than unconscious. We've been told before. I just had a complete blank on the name of the gentleman who wrote that, and I paraphrased it anyway. So also to remember that not only are we looking at being kind through the act of intention and through choice, but to remember, as I've talked about before, that we're all interconnected through the one mind of the divine as well. It's infinite, and we live in this sea of possibility. And to remember that our purpose, should we agree to it, is to be a participant in conscious evolution. Putting this all together means that as we intend and choose from the oneness, the purpose is to do that in the highest vibrational state of mind possible, meaning that we're to think, act, and engage in life itself from our essence, our divine nature, not from our ego, which is oftentimes what prevents us from being kind. In the Mental Health Foundation, or from the Mental Health Foundation in London, England, this is written regarding kindness. Kindness matters. Well, what do we mean by kindness? And this is one aspect of kindness. Kindness is choosing to do something that helps others or yourself, motivated by genuine, warm feelings, that intention, and that choice. Kindness, or doing good, often means putting other people's needs before our own. It could be giving up our seat on a bus to someone who might need it more, or offering to make a cup of tea for someone at work. Evidence shows that helping others can also benefit our own mental health and well-being. For example, it can reduce stress as well as improve mood, self-esteem, and happiness. There's so many ways to help others as a part of our everyday lives. Good deeds needn't take much time or really cost any money. Kindness, good deeds, through intention, oneness, choice. Let's ask ourselves today, how can we be one bit more kind in life? Goes on in this article to say, you may recognize the expression, it's better to give than receive, but did you know that this is actually backed up by research? People who are kind and compassionate see clear benefits to their well-being and happiness. They may even live longer. Kindness can also help reduce stress and improve our emotional well-being. We all have so much going on in our lives, including competing strains and stresses, not to mention the current coronavirus pandemic and now the monkeypox. This can see kindness pushed to one side in favor of what is urgent or what's trending at the very moment. It can be easy to signal kindness by posting online and following a trend, but could be harder to commit to kindness in our daily words and actions. But if we take the time to be kind to other people, we can reap the emotional dividends. It can really make a difference, and especially for people who are vulnerable or struggling. Now is the time, today, this moment, to reimagine a kinder society that better protects our mental health. And we all know in this philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind that our imagination is part of the seed of intention, remembering that already inherent within the seed of intention is the fulfillment of our desire. So as we begin to participate in imagining that which is greater, better for all of us, already it begins to take form. Let's begin to imagine that kindness can be built into business decisions, government policy, and official systems in a way that supports everyone's mental health and also reduces discrimination and inequality. But that can start by individual commitments to showing kindness in our words and in our actions. When I chose this theme for the month, it truly is through the lens, through the vein, through the intention that each one of us makes a commitment that day by day, thought by thought, action by action, words by words, that we're more kind than we've been. Not judging ourselves for the past, in fact, forgiving ourselves for the past, but starting anew and doing our part to make the world kinder. And so let's all take a moment and ask ourselves where we may have chosen differently in the past, let go of that without guilt, and to make a commitment for what can be, what is to be our life, our future, our experience that's a result of our thinking, of our expression of the power of the divine. In our text that went out today, our New Thought text for the day, this is what was written. It's a quote by Joel Osteen. The first place we lose the battle is in our own thinking. If you think it's permanent, then it's permanent. If you think you've reached your limits, then you have. If you think you won't get well, you won't. Change your thinking and choose to know every obstacle and limitation is only temporary. Today, let's know that anything from the past is not permanent, that we haven't reached our limits or capacity to be kind and loving and generous. Let's reframe it and forgive ourselves and start anew and start fresh from this very moment, now. A great quote by the Buddha that was shared by my peer and soul brother, Dennis Merritt Jones, tells us to use our intention and our choice, our awareness and our oneness in this way. Silence the angry man with love. Silence the ill-natured man with kindness. Silence the miser with generosity. Silence the liar with truth. Our theme again, a time for kindness. Of late, I had become aware that I'd been unkind to my opinion of the city of Los Angeles and a lot of what is transpiring on the streets here, choosing to feel unsafe and unloving. And I came to the conclusion that I no longer wanted to live in this framework of mind regarding the city, that I know that I have the capacity to be a change participant, to be someone who can make a difference in this city, on this planet, in this world, first and foremost by changing the way that I'm thinking, by silencing the angry man within myself with love, by silencing the ill-natured man, myself, with greater kindness towards others and myself, to silence that miserness, that need to hang on to what exists or what was, or not being willing to participate in the change with generosity, and to silence the liar, that person that's telling me the city's done in my mind, with the truth of that experience of life here, as always in life, is a result of how I show up in life, not how life shows up. There's challenges on the streets of this city, without a doubt. And often I see it, as I know many of you do, of the unhoused, and there are moments when it's a bit frightening. But today we have the opportunity before us that no matter where we are in life, to change our thinking, to choose a new framework of mind, to live a life with a bit more kindness. This article speaks to that, titled, Live a Life of Kindness. An editorial entitled The Pope of Panhandling in the New York Times opinion page quoted Pope Francis saying that it's always right to give to those in need, and questioned about people who use money for drink or other things. Pope Francis replied, "If a glass of wine is the only happiness a person has in their life, then that's okay. Give," he says. Be kind. Most of the people, this article states, equate kindness with giving something materialistic. And yes, there certainly are moments when you can give something materialistic and it affects great change. But behind that materialism lays the true essence of kindness. In our busy lives, we're so connected to our iPhones, iPads, or anythings that we tend to be disconnected from each other. Leon Logothetis, former high-flying stockbroker, made headlines when on the streets of Denver gave a homeless father enough to house himself and his son in a hotel for a week. Logothetis left his life as a successful stockbroker behind to travel the world in a vintage motorcycle fueled by kindness. According to Logothetis, the kindest thing one can do is simply seeing someone. It's really about showing people that they matter, showing them that their life has meaning and their pain has value. Even if your pockets are empty, you can give the gift of respect and acknowledge shared humanity. There are no small kindnesses. You never know how far your kindness could reverberate. The smile that you give the taxi or Uber driver, yes, taxi driver, it states here, that's New York, you can tell it's from New York, could cause them to be kinder to their passengers. And give each of those people could in turn extend their kindness. Could this small act lift someone from despair? I think we know the answer is yes. Could offering a small gift or a kind word to others offer you a gift as well? Definitely so. Researchers found that once people got into the loop of being kind, it was followed by a feeling of happiness. Psychologists call this the helper's high. Now we know that that's because we live in a universe governed by spiritual law, and the very thing that we express returns to us, we like to say, multiplied abundantly. This article completes by saying our world needs more kindness. Think about it for a moment. Are you willing to be a participant in that, starting today? Our world needs more kindness, so let's sow the seeds of benevolence and to make a mindful effort to choose kindness and compassion. Let's embark on a journey that goes beyond nice to true and genuine kindness. But the question is, what stops us from changing our patterns in life? And especially when we're being called to potentially change and alter our behavior in situations or scenarios that we may feel uncertain around. What is the payoff for us to stay in a rut and possibly looking past someone where showing kindness could reverberate and create a shift in all of life itself? My belief is based oftentimes in my own experience of life, of wanting to be self-righteous or imperialistic or even afraid at times. All of these are ego-driven decisions in life, and I encourage us all to open up to look at those differently while not putting ourselves in unsafe situations. In the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, Deepak Chopra breaks down what I believe is part of the reason why we allow ourselves to stay in a mindset that's not shifting, to hang on to old patterns and old beliefs. I invite you to hear this article as a stimulus, as a possibility, as a way of opening your mind to see things differently so that we can choose with greater confidence to be a bit more kind on a daily basis. He speaks to one of these 7 spiritual laws of success as the law of detachment. Don't judge it yet. The law of detachment says that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. It's a very powerful thing to do. The moment you relinquish your attachment to the result, combining one pointed intention with detachment at the same time, you will have that which you desire. Manifestation in the blink of an eye. Anything you want can be acquired through detachment, because detachment is based on the unquestioning belief in the power of your true self. Attachment, on the other hand, is based on fear and insecurity. And the need for security is based on not knowing the true self. The source of wealth or abundance or anything in the physical world is the self, uppercase S, meaning the power, the divine, God. It's the consciousness that knows how to fulfill every need. The consciousness that we have at our disposal should we allow ourselves to align with it. He goes on to tell us that everything in life really is a symbol. Cars, houses, banknotes, clothes, airplanes, and symbols, experiences in life, things, the physical things, are transitory. They come and go. Chasing symbols is like settling for the map instead of the territory. It creates anxiety and it ends up making you feel hollow and empty inside because you exchange yourself, your divine nature, for the symbols of yourself. Attachment comes from poverty consciousness because attachment is always to symbols. Detachment is synonymous with wealth consciousness. Because with detachment, there's freedom to create. Only from detached involvement can one have joy and laughter. Then the symbols of wealth are created spontaneously and effortlessly. Without detachment, we're prisoners. We're prisoners of helplessness, hopelessness, mundane needs, trivial concerns, quiet desperation, and God knows, let's not have this, seriousness. The distinctive features of everyday, mediocre existence and poverty consciousness. The search for security, he tells us, is an illusion. In ancient wisdom traditions, the solution to this whole dilemma lies in the wisdom of insecurity, or the wisdom of uncertainty. Now we're moving into really big thinking territory here, everyone. This means that the search for security and certainty is actually an attachment to the known. And what is the known? The known is our past. The known is nothing other than the prison of past conditioning. Well, there's no evolution in that. Absolutely none at all. And when there's no evolution, and remember, we decided to participate in evolution as a template, as a foundation for engaging in the time to be kind. He says, as when there is no evolution, there is stagnation, entropy, disorder, and decay. Well, who the hell wants that in their life? Stagnation, entropy, disorder, and decay. That's certainty. He tells us that uncertainty, on the other hand, is the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. Uncertainty means stepping back into the unknown in every moment of our existence. The unknown, the place where source resides, is the field of all possibilities, ever fresh, ever new, always open to the creation of new manifestations. Without certainty and the unknown, life is just the stale repetition of outworn memories. You become the victim of the past. And your tormentor today is yourself left over from yesterday. It's a lot, Deepak. So what are we to do? Here's what we're to do, he says. Relinquish your attachment to the known. Step into the unknown, and you'll step into the field of all possibilities. In your willingness to step into the unknown, you will have the wisdom of uncertainty factored in. This means that Every moment in your life, your celebration, the exhilaration, and the exultation will have excitement, adventure, and mystery. A lot to take in. But what is he telling us? He's saying to move into that place of the unknown of how life is going to show up, while being steeped into the foundational faith of Source itself, the thing itself, the unfailing nature of the divine. It's a great way to begin into this new time period of choosing to be more kind. It's a great way to begin our sending out our energy to transform the planet. It's a great way to begin by being open to not having an attachment to how our intention to be more kind shows up in life. It's a great way to begin so that we may each individually honor the journey that we're on of being in faith with the power itself. Not faith in the power, the faith with and of it. I have some affirmations that I think will help us fine-tune our consciousness for this life of uncertainty that is steeped in detachment from that tormenting yesterday. Let's all affirm for ourselves to begin with saying, may I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be loved. May I express kindness easily and gracefully. And may I experience kindness easily and gracefully. And then begin to move that out to all beings of life itself and affirm for them, may you, expressions of life, be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be loved. May you express kindness easily and gracefully. And may you experience kindness easily and gracefully. Starting today, if we allow ourselves to let this be our first step as we encounter all individuals on this planet through this two-step process of affirming for ourselves a kinder way of being, and then for others. And let's allow ourselves to step into the allowance, the acceptance that the law of correspondence, the law of life that responds by corresponding, will bring to us experiences life that reflect our willingness to be more kind and to detach from what the outcome could be. This detachment, which may be challenging for you, is the same thing that in 20th century metaphysics we would tell ourselves that when we would release our spiritual mind treatment to the universe, the law of creation, we would use the statement, this and or more, meaning that we're open to the wisdom of the power of life itself to know at a higher level than we do what is the right thing to bring our way. So today we have before us the opportunity to begin a new spiritual practice, the spiritual practice of making kindness the norm in our daily life. There's 7 ways here to begin that. One is to send an uplifting text to a friend or family member. I did that yesterday. I decided in preparing for this, when this came up as an option, I sent out, I think, 40. And it was wonderful and fun and felt good for me, and I know for them. Another way is to let the person merge into traffic around you, which we all know is an unusual experience, or has been in LA, and to do it with a wave and a smile. Another is to include intentional moments of kindness, laughter, and delight in our own daily routine. Another way is to go slightly outside of our comfort zone at least once a day to make someone smile. We do that first by smiling first. Let's all just smile right now. Another way is to share a compliment with a coworker or a friend or someone that you see while you're in line at the grocery store. Another is to reach out to a family member that you haven't spoken to in a while and just let them know you're thinking of them. I did that too yesterday. It makes a difference. And the last is treat someone to a cup of coffee, a friend, a stranger, or even yourself. We've all heard before these goals, these intentions, these bumper stickers to participate in random acts of kindness. If we feel so compelled to go beyond the 7 ways that I just spoke of, there's many other ways to do that, by giving a care package to the homeless, to tell someone they look beautiful today, to write a handwritten note to someone just because and tell them that. Once again, pay for coffee or groceries of someone behind you. Just consciously be someone who's willing to give, to participate in good manifesting itself in this planet. So the question is, where do we begin what I like to call this adventure, our spiritual experiment of kindness? We do it by remembering that inherently and innately with us, we're not stagnant. That within every cell and fiber and being of our body, we're already alive and well. We're already an ever-changing instrument of infinite possibility. And so let's engage in this moment. Ernest Holmes tells us that the only time we will ever have is now, the immediate moment. The question that naturally arises then is, how wisely are we using it? Are we retreating into the memories of the past, daydreaming into the future? We don't want to encumber this eternal moment of ours with vague dreams of tomorrow, nor clutter it up with refuse from the past. He says the thoughts of the past and the future can color and contaminate our emotional and mental outlook. So it's important for us not to look at this moment with despair, but to look at it with joy. Remembering that the acronym for joy, just open yourself. Today I invite us to open ourselves to the opportunity, the possibility to be more kind, to be more giving, and to remember, if we should have an unlimited mental acceptance for all good things for ourselves, is not this very act of acceptance a direction for the law of mind to produce more moments like this? I look forward to hearing, sharing in, and knowing that each one of us is being more kind in the way that we show up in life, both for ourselves, with ourselves, and with others. And may we each choose today to be more loving, more gentle, more expressive, and more experiencing of kindness. It will indeed make a difference. It already has, because we've shared this time together. Thank you, and I invite your own back to sing another song for us. And so it is. He'll be back. He'll be back. I know he will. But in the meantime, I invite us all to begin thinking of new acts of kindness that we can have in life. See, there he is.
Hey, move away. Hello. Sorry about that. Here we go. This isn't your day unfolds, gotta be your future holds. This isn't your day unfolds, chillin' what your future holds. Try and keep your head up in the sky. Lover, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted, don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. Hear what your mother said, read your books your mother read. Try to solve your puzzle in your own sweet time. Some may find more cash than you, others take a different view. Oh, my, whoa, whoa, whoa. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta stay calm, you gotta be together. All I know, love will save the day. Time asks no questions, it goes on without you, leaving you behind if you don't stand the place. World keep on spinning, and you can't stop if you try to. This time it's danger staring in your face. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. Love will save the day.
Yes, it will. Thank you so very much. Love, which is an outpicturing of kindness. So fantastic. Thank you, Yaron. A big thank you to each one of you for being here today and participating in our Sunday celebration service, whether you've joined us through Zoom or YouTube or Facebook Live. Know that who you are, just as you are, is making a difference on this planet. And I know that as we each take one step forward in life, step by step, act by act, of kindness, that the world itself gets better. I want to thank you all once again for being here. I want to thank you, Yaron, for providing this wonderful music, Travis Smith for doing wonderful things with us through audio and keeping us connected that way, and Robert Hensley for taking such great care of us through social media and monitoring the Facebook Live as well. Big thank you to all of you. We're a community that thrives on the support by each one of you, and so I invite you to go to our website, csl-la.org, and you'll see there's a tab to donate. I invite you to click on that and donate and support our community if you feel so compelled, so that we may continue to provide good for our community, for ourselves, and that we may continue to grow in life itself. And so know that in advance, I say thank you to each one of you that do that. I want to give you an update of what's transpiring this week. There will be no meditation this upcoming Sunday, no meditation this upcoming Wednesday. I will not be able to be present for that. So know that there will be access to meditations, previous and prior meditations, on our website and our app in the App Store, Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, and that will pick back up the next Wednesday. A reminder that we will be back in person next Sunday morning at Congregation Kol Ami, our home at 1200 North La Brea Avenue. It would be so wonderful if each of you could come and potentially invite a friend. It would be nice to have a good, solid turnout for that. Also, want to let you know there's something I want to share with you that's taking place that I just agreed for us to do the end of last week, and that is with Congregation Kol Ami. They're doing a monthly food packing gathering to pack lunch for people that are unhoused. And so that's taking place next Saturday afternoon on site at Kol Ami from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Information will be forthcoming this week about more details around that, but I'd love if any of you are available to participate in that. We are going to start doing that with Kol Ami, hopefully once a month, partnering and providing food for the unhoused, and that will take place. It won't always be at 3:30 on Saturday. It just will be this time, and then on Sunday it's delivered. So if you or any of your friends are available to participate in that, please know that we would love to have you be there and welcome that taking place. If you have any questions about that or anything else, feel free to reach out to me You can find out information of how to do that through our website and or through our app, as well as we are on all social media of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and that is that. All right. So we're going to close with a meditation this morning. And once again, I want to remind you all to please join us next Sunday in person from 10:30 to 11:30. We'll be most grateful to have you there. Let's close with this. Let's all know and affirm together that we are beginning anew today. That the kindness of life has already begun to ripple out into the universe because we've chosen to set the intention for it. That in this collective gathering today, not only has healing, the act of revealing our oneness, begun to take place in a new way for each and as each one of us, but it's also doing its thing here in Los Angeles or wherever you may reside and beyond. We each consciously choose and commit, and in fact covenant with ourselves that from this very cherished moment forward, we begin to see life with a new lens, a new framework. And as we see expressions of the divine, whether they may be clothed in that which appears to be homeless, home insecure, or homeless, or whatever the term may be that we use to, in our minds, potentially think that they're less than, that we change that way of thinking. We trust our intuition and our wisdom to let us move through a state of uncertainty, faith, in a way that propagates good in ways that we've never experienced before. Today we consciously relinquish the tormenting nature of the past, no longer allowing ourselves to be imprisoned by what was, or even what can be, and lean into nurturing the creative power within us of this present moment and the unfailing nature of the thing itself. The time is now. The time is now. And so releasing all that has transpired today out into the universe to begin to be received by the law of creation, returning to us as an experience or form, we are jubilant with an expectation of this good, not outlining it or trying to define it, but being receptive to the wonderment of what lies ahead. All is well, and so it is. Thank you so very much for joining us today. Continue to share your light and your blessings. Remember to hold healing thoughts for those that are in pain. And let's know that life indeed is getting better because you and I are in it, consciously participating through intention, through our choices, and through the act of evolution. Have a great Sunday. Thank you.